Okay, guys, so let's start. So today we have to start with the lab. Okay, in the previous class we have discussed about SSL theory. Okay, and in the theory we have discussed about server-based authentication, then client and server-based authentication. Second was client and server-based authentication. Okay, and the third is connection resumption over here. Okay, connection resumption. Okay, so these are the three handshakes which we have discussed in the previous class. Okay, so today we have to start here with lab. Okay, so lab I'm going to be start here as per the Cisco's concepts here. There are the multiple ways for the clientless, sorry, for the SSL lab, but I'm going to be start here as per the CCI lab exam perspective. Okay, so as per CCI lab exam, we have two kinds of lab into this. So first one, we have clientless, which is also known as browser based. And along with that, that is also known as web VPN. Okay, so these are the three concepts. This is concept. So along with that, the another one we have, which is client based. This is known as client based. Okay, along with this, this is also known as this one is client based ANI connectivity. This VPN is also known as proxy based VPN. Okay, I'll explain how and why. So let me just start with the lab. So I'll start all the devices. Meanwhile, okay, so let me just log in into the same. For 13. Admin. Let me get into the VPN section. Based Flux VPN versus Head VPN. This is okay. Now, guys, so see. So SSL VPN, okay, we are going to be talk about from outside here, okay, from outside how the users would take the access to the inside servers there. Okay, so this is my LAN network. This is inside where I'm hosting two servers. One is a sales server, second is web server. The IP of the sales server is 10.1 and this is 10.2. This is 10.100, which is about your gateway, and this is my inside. So I'm using it like security level 100 into this. This is my outside where security level is 0, and I'm using 11 network here, 11.100, 11.200. So this is I'm considering as a ISP, and this is one of my remote user, okay, who's connected with the internet here. Overall, how it would take the access. So overall, this user has to access these servers. So this is server you can consider as a sales server, but let's consider you can consider it as a Meta, and you can consider this is a WhatsApp server, or this is an Instagram server, or this could be a Facebook server, or whatever you want to consider it. But I'm just considering here example, like as a this is one of the employee of the same organization, and he has to access sales server and the web server over here, and he has to use the client-less VPN, which is server-based VPN, or you can say which is web-based VPN here. Okay, browser-based VPN, sorry, browser-based VPN and web-based VPN. So how we have to configure? So the step number one, we have to configure these routers as a servers, and we have to enable here HTTP on both the servers. Here you can enable HTTPS also or HTTP, whatever you want. So these are the things we have to enable onto this. After that, this is we first of all we have to establish a basic communication between all these devices. But from here, this is one of my management PC, and with the help of this management PC, I have to configure clientless VPN on AS. What I have to do it, I have to enable which traffic like which VPN over here, clientless VPN, because today we are going to be configure clientless VPN via Google Cloud, not via CLI. Okay, even tomorrow again we have to go with the full client VPN, the client based VPN, which is I'm talking about this because today I'm going to be cover this part only, and this is about the tomorrow. Okay, so tomorrow that is again with the help of the same concept. Okay, so today first of all the step number one, what we have to do it, we have to configure these devices as a HTTP and HTTPS devices. So we would generate the traffic from here for the both for HTTP also and for the HTTPS also. So here I'll configure HTTP and along with that HTTPS. Okay, so when I'll use a SSL, so SSL VPN would be configured between these two devices. Okay, that won't be configured between this one. No, that is between your edge device and between your this. Okay, like IPsec VPN, I hope you remember, in case I'm using a router here, this is another site. So we used to configure the VPN between what? We used to configure the VPN between uh, public IP. So same concept here, the VPN would be between the SSL VPN between the this one. Okay, so I'll just take you to here. So this is my inside router. This is inside router 2. I have a switch. Along with that, I have an ASA here. This is ISP, and this is my user. This is a user. So first of all, we have to make sure between ASA and this and inside server there should be reachability, and after that we have to make sure there should be reachability between a user and the ASA. This is my ASA. This is what IP I'm using, 11.100. This is about 10.100, 10.102, 102. 11.200, 12.200, and this is 12.1, I think so. 12.1. Okay, so see, and this is my management PC. This PC is on this side now. This is my management PC. Okay, so via ASDF, okay, I have to configure SSL VPN into this. This is what I have to configure. So the management PC here. And the IPs, I think I'm using 10.20.20.100. This is .com. Guys, this topology is clear or not? Yes, guys, is this topology is clear? So what I'll do, first of all, I'll make a reachability between all these devices. After that, I'll start the VPN configuration and all. Okay. So just first, let me start with the topology here, like now. Server 1. We will check it out. Enable the IP interface. We have an IP address about 10.1. Interface is already in the upstate. That's fine. Show IP route. Do we have any default route? That is there. Show section HTTP. Okay. Everything is already configured. So this is a basic configuration, this which is already ready on these both the servers. Okay. So I think the page 3 is fine. So IP route, that is also okay. Show the section. That is also clear. Guys, is this pre-configuration is fine or do you want me to configure it again? The IP address, default route and these services on both the routers. That's fine. Okay. Now, after that, we'll check the ASA. In ASA, there should not be any kind of configuration that we have to make sure. Show interface IP brief. Clear configuration. I just wiped out it. Okay. Now let me start it up. This is an ISP. So IP. So we can see 0/1 12.100. This is the interface. This one and 11.200. This interface. All clear. So IP route. We had default. Everything is fine. ISP is not needed now. And let me start this series. So this is a test PC or a user PC. The password is test1230. This is Windows 6 and Windows 5 also. Let me start it because this would act as a management PC on AS. Okay. So I have just wiped out and just started the device. It will take another 2 to 3 minutes. Now, the first of all, we have to make sure there should be a reachability from this device to to ASA. The reason, because if we have to configure, there should be reachability between the public IPs there. So what I'm using here, I'm using 11.100 here and 12.1. So there must be a reachability between both the devices. Okay. After that, now see overall this user. Now let's consider now this VPN is also known as proxy-based VPN. This is also known as what? One more thing. This is I have mentioned proxy-based VPN. So what is the meaning of proxy-based VPN? The proxy-based VPN means okay, this is my actual destination. Okay, destination won't be like you can say destination server will be not aware about the actual user. Are you getting my point? The destination server will be not knows or will be not knowing anything about the actual user. Okay. So overall on this server, okay, who would access it? This guy would access it. But when we would go to this server, okay, because from here it would access with the help of HTTP and HTTPS protocol. Okay. So what happened when we would check it on this server or this router with the help of show IP HTTP server history command? So it won't show you the IP address of this. The reason, because in between ASA would act as a proxy device or a proxy server, because ASA would act as a proxy server. It would act as a proxy server. Okay, means overall this user has to connect with whom? Overall this user has to connect with the ASA. Okay, and after that ASA only will take it to the server 1 and server 2. And so means the first concept, the first thing is we have to establish a VPN connection between what? Between these two. The VPN with the help of the which protocol? I'm going to use SSL. What I'm going to use? I'm going to use here SSL protocol. Okay, how this device would access from like how this device would access this protocol here. So that can be accessed with the help of HTTPS. What is ASA IP 11.1.1. Because first of all, we would access ASA interface. What we would access? ASA. So this is like 11.1.1.100 here. So once we will connect with the ASA with the help of the web browser. Okay. So when we would browse ASA from this device, after that, once my traffic would reach to the ASA, on ASA, one page would open here. This is the one of the page, and this page is known as SSL VPN page here. So which page will be open? One kind of web page would open. This is the kind of one web page. This is the one web page, and that is known as SSL VPN. That is known as SSL VPN. Okay, how? I'll start it, but before that, just let me do one or two things. Just let me finish the configuration on ASA. So the configuration is pending. After that, only I'll be able to show you, and then it would be easy for you to understand it. Okay. So interface IP. No command, then nothing is there, is fine. Now, interface 0/0, which is for the management. You can see this is IP address 10.20.20.100/24. No shirt, name it, management, security level, 100. 0/1, which is for inside. IP address 10.1.1.100 slash no shirt, name inside. Interface 0/2, IP address 11.1.1.100 slash 24, no shirt, name is outside. Ping width 10.1.1.1.1, ping width 10.1.2, ping width 11.1.1.200. So guys, we have a proper reachability for the inside and outside. Agree with this or not? Route outside. This is towards internet. I have configured one default route. Okay. I hope this is clear to everyone. Okay. Now, so see, in the future now, what we have to do it, my AS is ready, everything is fine. So now from here, I have to enable HTTP now on its two interfaces. One is on outside interface, one is on management interface. Here I need to enable HTTPS. Here also I need to be enable HTTPSA. The reason, because from here, ASDM access would be required. Okay, because we have to configure it via ASDM. Okay, via GUI part. For that, we need ASDM, sorry, HTTPS. And for the second thing is, a user would access or would connect like as a SSL VPN. Clientless VPN is the browser based, and browser based, which protocol would be required? HTTP and HTTP. Okay, because overall ASA doesn't support HTTP, it would convert into what? HTTPS. Okay, so what is required? HTTPS. So this is the reason I have to enable HTTPS on this interface and along with that on this interface. Guys, is this clear? Why we have to enable HTTPS on an outside interface and along with that on the management interface? Yes, guys, is this clear?
Excuse me, sir. Can you repeat one more time, sir?
Yes, please. So see, now, first of all, let's consider now, as I told you just some time back, I have to configure this ASA or I have to configure here SSL VPN via GUI part. Okay, So for the GUI of ASA, I need ASDM. And for ASDM, I need one interface, which is I'm going to be talking about management. And for the management, I need a which traffic to be enabled, HTTPS. Because by default, as we know, key on ASA, in the context of to the traffic, okay, TCP is disabled. Okay, so from here, when I'll generate HTTPS traffic, because HTTPS traffic is based on what? Based on TCP. So it means we have to enable HTTPS on this interface because that is by default disabled, or we have to allow, you can say, HTTPS traffic on this interface. This is clear or not? Yes, Nawaz, this concept is clear?
Yes, clear, sir. Yes.
Because from here I need a ASDM. So I would access it like a HTTPS like this way. 10.20.20.100 here. Okay, and now as you know, can try to recall your ASA concept. In ASA, in to the traffic, okay, TCP is not allowed. Okay, and I'm going to be using here HTTPS. So that is based on what? TCP. So that's the reason we have to allow TCP. Okay. Second, we have on this interface. On this interface, why we need an HTTP? The reason because SSL VPN, we are going to be I'm going to be connect via what? HTTPS. HTTPS, and we have to type 11.1.1. So again, which traffic is required? That is again needed over the outside interface. So this is the reason why on two interfaces, management and outside, we need to allow HTTPS. I hope this is clear now, Nawaz. Yes. Anyone else?
Yes.
Any doubt?
Yes,
Any
clear, sir.
question? Okay, thank you. Anyone else? Any doubt about this statement? Ki why do we need HTTPS on this? Okay. So let's start it now. So as you know on ASA how to configure it. So first of all, just enable here HTTP server. HTTP server enable. Then HTTP interfaces. Management. On which interface I have enabled it? Show name if just let me check. Yeah, same name I'm using it, management, and I have enabled on management, and now I need to enable authentication. AAA authentication for HTTP console local. Database is empty, so username, admin, password. Okay. This is on management. Guys, agree with this? I hope this is clear. Okay. Now I have enabled, I have configured, all good. Now let me get into this device and let me try to access it. Okay, like HTTP is enabled or not. And before that, just let me try to ping with 10.20.20.100. Do I have any reachability? Yes, I do have. And open any browser, or you can directly open ASDM, because if you have already ASDM, so definitely not required, then your browser is not required. But still, I just show you here. Now just type here HTTPS. Now 10.20.20.100. ASDM page would open. Okay. Connection is private. Click on advanced. Proceed for the same. ASD. So it means my HTTPS is working. Okay. And this is my ASDM here. Because now ASDM no need to download because I have already ASDM. Okay. So now 10.20.100, how to connect admin and admin. So with the help of IP, username and password. Just wait and watch. Now your ASDM would open. It's got open. So this is about ASDM. Okay. Which is on which side? Which is on the management. But as I told you, okay, along with this, I need to enable it on the outside interface also. Okay. What is the reason for that? The reason because in the future, how we would verify SSL VPN from the client and from the client side, we need to access it via browser. So this is right now not a client. This is browser. Okay. On the camera, web is VPN. So here that allow HTTP as account. Right. Okay. Now, after this is done. Now let's get back to the ASA. So HTTP outside. Okay. Enable authentication. We have already enabled. That's fine. Only this is needed here. Okay. Because HTTP, this is not required. Authentication, everything is fine. Okay. Now, login. Just log in into this page here now, like into this device. Try to ping with your ASA. What is the IP? 11.1.1.100. So ping with 11.1.1.100. I'm able to ping. And now just try to access from outside. So right now, see, I'm able to ping in from outside. I'm just trying to verify that my HTTPS traffic, which I have configured, that command is working or not. So guys, I'll try to access it from outside too, this one. So guys, tell me one thing. Till now, we have not configured any VPN into this right now, right? I have not configured SSL VPN till now. Just normally I have enabled HTTPS here and I'm just trying to access from here. Just before that, I have enabled HTTPS from here and we just tried to access and my ASDM page was getting open. So now if you would try here again, and if you would try to access it, HTTPS 11.100, your ASDM page would open here again. The reason, because I have not configured SSL VPN till now. Okay, so this is just my own network and just clarify for the, you can say, I just want to check the reachability and that's the reason you can see what is opening here, ASDM page. Okay, right now on my outside PC, on my user side, when I'm trying to access my ASA with HTTPS, which is 11.1.1.100, ASDM page is getting open. This is just without configuration or without configuring your SSL VPN. Now I'll start the SSL VPN configuration. And after that, what happened? Next time when I'll try to access the same URL from the same PC in the another tab, that time your SSL page would open on that side. Okay. So what happened? That time this page would open. So that I'll show you. Okay. So now I'll start the SSL VPN configuration. So guys, shall I start with SSL configuration on ASA? How to configure it? Yes, guys. So, okay. So now, so ASA. Now, what command I have used? I have just used the command web VPN enable outside. Okay, just a normal. Right now, this is not a proper SSL clientless VPN. This just a basic one. Okay, you can say this is kind of just SSL because we have to configure the VPN, the SSL VPN, which is about one SSL clientless. That is one. Then SSL, you can say client based, or you can say any connect VPN. That is known as number two. So this is what this is kind of just for the verification. Okay, SSL is working or not. This is SSL VPN 0. That's it. Okay, this is just for you can say testing purpose on. I'm going to be using. Okay. So what is the command I have configured via CLI? I have configured this. Okay. Now see, enable outside. I have just made it like you have to get into web VPN on outside interface. I'm going to use it. And now do one thing. Use the same URL, HTTPS 11.100, but into another tab. So this time your ASDM won't be there. We have what? We have SSL VPN. Okay. Prior to logging into this username and password of your ASA admin. So right now I have logged in into ASA via what? Via you can say via SSL. This is just a very simple and very plain SSL VPN. Okay, without using any bookmark list, without using any any profile and all. We do not have any. This is just very plain SSL VPN. Okay, so but in exam we cannot use this concept. Okay, in exam we cannot use this concept. So right now where I am standing, right now I have configured a VPN, and right now I'm at ASA. Right now where I am, I'm at ASA. So if you are the employee of the same organization and if you know the username and password of your server, let's consider you are one of the employee and you want to access the server number one. So how to access from here? So this is, you can see a browser, you can browse it from here. Let's consider on my inside router. Okay, you can use any of the services, HTTP, HTTPS, FTP or CIFS. Okay, so let's consider what is my inside router IP 10.1.1.1. It's asking username and password. Okay, of what 10.1.1.1. What is the password, username and password of that? Admin and admin, I think so. I don't remember. So we'll check it out after this if it won't work. It's not working. If you would go into the router one, your section user. There is no username. Let me configure username, CCI privilege, 15, password, CCI. One is with privilege level 15, another is username, admin, password, admin with privilege level 0. Okay, yeah, this is okay. And after that, IP so run section. IP HTTP authentication is fine. And now just try to access with admin and admin. I have configured two username. One is admin with privilege level 0 and another is CCI with privilege level 50. So with privilege level 0, we are not able to log in. The reason because the server itself is asking enter your username and password for level 15 or a view access at this. So we need access of what? Privilege level 15 here. So I'm going to be using CCI and CCI. Okay, so this is login here, and now you can just check it out here. And just now check here, show IP HTTP server history command. Okay, now I'm right now where, guys? Right now I'm on server 1. Okay, and I'm just local IP is 10.1.1.1 at 80. It's fine because I'm using HTTP. And who's the remote IP? 10.1.100. So guys, now can you see here on this server? I'll just check it out. This is here, or you can see to IP HTTP server history. 10.1. Guess who is 10.1.100 right now? Because this I'm right now I'm in this router on this server. It's showing as 10.180 is about myself because this is the local IP address. But who's the remote? Okay, 10.1.100. So what the router is thinking, who is accessing me? Who's the remote server? 10.1.1.100. So guys, kindly tell me who is 10.1.1.100? Gateway or ASA, exactly. One. What about other student? Yes, guys, please tell me who is 10.1.1.100? Guys, are you the ASA inside interface? Okay. What about other students? Only 2 has replied. 3. Benita Santosh Pawan. Okay. Naveen. 4. What about other? Now, along with this, tell me who's the actual user? Who is actually accessing it? Who is the actual user? Who is actually accessing? No, gateway is not accessing. The 12.1. Who is accessing 12.1? And who's the 12.1? User is the 12.1. Because I'm accessing from which device? The Windows 6. From here I'm accessing. Correct? So now this concept is known as your proxy. This device is thinking, okay, I'm accessing who? Okay, I'm accessing what? Who is accessing me? Okay, who is user? So in its CLI by help of the command, it's getting ki ASA is the user. But the actual who's the user? This concept is known as proxy based. Okay, so this is the one VPN I have configured just as a okay, just as a what? Just as a you can see for the testing purpose. This is not the actual way to configure clientless VPN in the CISA lab exam. We have a different concept into that. What is the concept? Now, same thing I'll configure as per the CISA lab perspective. But before that, I'll get into the ASA and I'll remove no web VPN. Okay. Web VPN. Enable. It was on outside. Just try to. Okay. It's disabled. That's it. And if disabled, and if you would be back here, just close your previous session And now if you would try to access HTTPS 11.100, I have disabled that SSL VPN. So now is got enabled. Okay, just once again here. After that, I'll be back here again to the ASA where VPN enable outside. It's now done. Let me start just one small capture here. I have enabled it again, and now I'll try to access it again. HTTPS 11. That's done. Okay. Now just stop it. Check it SSL. Okay. So we have these are the messages. I'll show you these messages now. Okay. So I'll be back to my ASA and I'll just disable this one. And if you would disable it, as you know, so then again, you won't be able to access it. So now if you would try to browse it, okay, same page, file not found. Yes, guys, is this clear? How to enable and disable just for the testing purpose via your CLI? Is this clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, let's start with the actual configuration. Okay, the configuration, how to do it via GUI part here. Okay, so for that, I need an ASDM. So where I have ASDM, this is my own management piece. So now let me log in into ASDM. Okay, just try to refresh your device once here before starting the configuration. Once is fine. This is the tab here. How to configure now via ASDM. So you have to get into Wizard here. On the top side, you can see Wizard. In that, we have a one VPN Wizard. And in this, we have an option for clientless or AnyConnect. So right now, I'm talking about here clientless SSL VPN. So I have to get into this, click on this. So now, this is kind of some theory which you can just go through it. Okay, but just for you, I'll just read it now. This is one wizard now. Wizard of what? Clientless SSL VPN. And how many steps do we have total? 6. And out of that, this is the first step here. Okay. So what exactly this is saying? Okay, the security appliance provide SSL remote access connectivity from almost any internet enabled location using a web browser and a native SSL encryption. Okay, means it just security appliance will provide you the SSL remote VPN, okay, from any internet enabled. Internet enabled location means what? Internet enabled is what? That reachability must be there. Right now, this is my EVNG. I have only made this reachability and all, but in the actual corporate, okay, you are not going to be deal with ISP concepts. So overall reachability must be there. That internet enabled location. The security appliance allow SSL enabled web browser to access HTTP or HTTPS web on the portal page here. So this is the browser, guys. This is a simple. This is the browser. This is internet. This is ASA. And between ASA and my browser, we have which VPN? SSL. Okay. And further after ASA, this is what? These are my servers. So same topology I'm using. So this is the first page here, which is the introduction to this. Next, we have to define a connection profile name. So these are the things which you have to learn. Okay, what exactly the meaning of the profile here? This is a new thing right now. It has come. Via CLI, there was no concept about the profile. But in CISA lab exam, we have to configure the profile name and all. So that's the reason we have to always prefer this GUI part here. Okay, that is always best and easy. Okay. So I'll just select here one profile. I'll show you practically where exactly these profiles would help us. The profile name is CCI profile right now. I'll just select a name here as a what? CCI profile. Okay, just mention it one thing, we have a connection profile name. Where it would help us, that I'll explain you later. Okay, but this is right now one profile which is named as a CCI profile here. I'll just mention here as a CCI profile. Okay, this is what name of connection profile. Name of connection profile. So this is one profile we have made it. Okay, in this now, what exactly I'm going to be using it, on which interface you want to configure it. Okay, SSL, we have an interface inside, outside, and management. I'm going to be using it on outside interface. This is, guys, the same command. I hope you remember web VPN enable outside. So this tab is equal to that command. Okay. Second is, are you going to be use any digital certificate for authentication? Are you using any certificate and all? Answer is no. Right now, I'm not using it. In case if you have certificate, then you have to manage and you have to upload the certificate. Guys, do you remember? As a client, if I'm going to be using HTTPS in a CA-based VPN, right? If I'm going to be access ASA like as a Facebook or Instagram, so this device need a what? Certificate to authenticate himself, right? So the same concept we have. So right now, we are just kind of, we can say, are doing the configuration on the server side. So server authentication would be required. So that time you need a certificate. But right now I do not have any certificate and I'm not going to be using it. Okay. Because if you would use this certificate, so here ASA would authenticate himself. So when a user connect, the security appliance send this digital certificate to the remote web browser to authenticate the ASA. Because when I'm trying to connect with the Instagram server, Facebook server, or any LinkedIn server, so the LinkedIn, Facebook server has to authenticate themselves to me, right? Okay, because in my browser, I have their public keys of GoDaddy and DTCRT, and then LinkedIn and Facebook servers, the like companies, they have a digital certificate from the GoDaddy, and that certificate is encrypted by GoDaddy private key. And in my browser, I have GoDaddy public key. So whenever I try to connect myself with the Instagram, so Instagram server or a Facebook server has to authenticate themselves with the help of the same certificate, which is released by the certificate authority like GoDaddy or DGCRT. And that certificate is already encrypted by their private keys, and I have their public key. So it would be it would be easy for me to decrypt the certificates as a client. Yes, guys, this is clear. What I said in the last line, because this is what I have mentioned. It's all about the previous things. That's the reason before SSL VPN, first I have finished your CA-based VPN. Okay, but try to relate everything which we have discussed earlier. Okay, yet other like I can see 3-4 guys are just very active. Like one is Santosh, Nawaz, Pawan, and who else? One Benita. These Naveen, 4-5 guys are active. What about other guys? Bharat, Hema, who's iPhone? Then Karthik, Mani Teja, Shrini, Vincent, Sushil Kumar, guys, Vaibhav. Are you there or not? I hope everyone is there. It's not like that you just logged in and you're sleeping. Yeah, then it's fine. Okay. So now I'll be back to this and I'll just go back to this one here. So I'm not going to be use any certificate into this. Okay. Okay. Fine. Okay. Okay, fine. Okay. So right now I'm not using this option itself here. Okay. Digital certificate, I'm not going to be use it. So now next is accessing the connection profile. This is the one group alliance I have to mention, and I'll use her name. This is the earlier I have mentioned CSAP profile. So now a group alliance in the URL name, I'll mention something else. Let's consider Panda I'll mention. Okay, so this is my group alliance, sir. Display group lines list at the login page. I'll show you all this thing. Okay, so now we have a allies. Okay, URL, which is the Panda. I'll show you what exactly that will be. Okay, so here I have to configure three things. One is connection profile, second on which interface, and third is group alliance. After this, next page, authentication. Okay, tell me one thing. Just now see, I'll take you back before start. Okay, now first I'll finish this step here. This step is all about the user authentication. Previously the certificate was for the what? That certificate was for the server authentication. But this time we have a user authentication also. So now this is, are you going to be use any AAA server like a ICE or Active Directory, any LDAP server? No, I'm going to use just basic and the local authentication. And which one? Admin. So this is the username which I have configured, okay, on ASA. So in case if you want to add any other name like a CCI and CCI and CCI here, add it here. So I'm going to be used then CCI, but I'm not going to be use the multiple username. I'm going to be using a single username, which is admin. That's it. Next, create a group policy. This is just a name. This is, let's consider the policy is NH policy here. Bookmark list. What is the meaning of bookmark list? This is very important. Bookmark list here. So now see guys. Still, I'm trying to configure the configuration on ASA, but I haven't configured. So now enable outside. I have enabled my VPN on outside and let me just open here. HTTPS 11.100. SSL VPN. Admin and admin. Guys, are you able to see any kind of connection profile name here? No, because right now I have not completed my this configuration. Okay, and in CLI via CLI I have not configured anything. Okay, so admin and admin, if you would log in here, guys, is there any list of any server you can see here? Is there any list of the server on this page? No.
No.
Let's consider, for example, if you have to access right now, I'm at where? I'm on ASA. And you want to access server 1 and server 2. Whatever the server. You have, let's consider 100 of the server. And you do not know the IP address of the servers. You don't know the IP address of the servers. Okay. Do you think you will be able to connect via like to that particular server here right now? No. Because if you know the IP address, then only you can use an HTTP or HTTPS protocol, whatever, and then you have to type the IP of that particular server. And after that only, you would be able to connect with what that particular server. Agree with this point or not? If you don't know the IP address, do you think you will be able to connect here? No. So now what we have to do it in, like I'm doing the configuration of SSL VPN. So I have to make a bookmark list here. Bookmark list means in that bookmark list, now I have to mention here one bookmark list. In that bookmark list, what I have to mention, this is my bookmark list. I have to make it myself, bookmark list here. I have to mention here, what is, now here I'll mention is server 1. IP address is 10.1.1.1. Behind this, okay, I have to do the mapping here. Okay, at port number 80. Server 2, this is 10.1.1.1.2 at port number 443. So this kind of mapping I have to do it. And as a user, when you would log in into the SSL VPN, so this is the back, in the backend we have to do this kind of entry, but In front of that, you would get this kind of information. This is server 1 or server 2. Usually in the Google Chrome, we have a concept about bookmark. Na? They're like, okay, all the bookmarks and all. So this is the same kind of bookmark we have to do it. Okay, so that is kind of bookmark list, because right now I cannot see any kind of bookmark list here. So that bookmark list we have to configure. So this is, no, I have disabled it. And if you would try to access ASDM page for it. Okay, so I have disabled my SSL, and here you can see, just refresh the page. That's it. So right now, bookmark list. Is there any bookmark list? No. So we have to configure it, manage. Okay, add a bookmark list. This is the list of the bookmark list here. This is, let's consider NH servers. Add a first server information, URL with get or post method, because I'm going to use HTTP. Click on OK. Bookmark. What is the name of the server? Bookmark title here. That is server 1. HTTP. I'm going to use HTTP here. Depends. If you want to use a different one, you can. HTTP. What is the IP of the server? 10.1.1.5. That's it. I just make it up. Server 1. So NH server is my list. This is NH server is the bookmark list. And what is the name of that? NH server. This is the name of my bookmark list here. And in that, I have made it the first entry. And let me add the another entry, which is server 2, and IP is 10.1.1.1.2. Made it okay. Okay. I know. So this one, how many lists we have? 2 lists we have. Only 1 list we have. In that, how many entries? 2. Bookmark is ready. Next, these are the information which I have done. Selected a features clientless VPN. What is the connection name? Connection profile name. Connection name here, that is CSAP profile. This is the CSAP profile. I'm talking about this name here. Okay. After that, we have interface outside. What is the connection group? Alliance name Panda. User authentication local. User is CCI. I have used admin. Admin only. No problem if it's showing it says it's fine. This is the new user actually, no problem, because I have added a new user, it's fine. Group policy, NH policy, and bookmark list is NH server. And I'll just finish it. I have finished. Save. I have saved also, and refresh it once. That's it. Come back here. Get into this PC, Windows 6. Try to close the browser because so many tabs are open. And now let me just open a new tab here and type here HTTPS as a ASA. Now we have to just HTTPS 11.1.1.100. What happened? So in case if this kind of concept won't work, so then I'll give you one more solution where you have to do it all this. Fine. Okay, so then what to do? Let me try just again from here. If it won't works, so then HTTPS. Okay, it's not working. So then do one thing. Just come back here and enable outside. Just try it once. And now let's come back here and just try HTTPS 11.100. The profile name and all we cannot see. Admin and admin. We cannot see anything, whatever we have configured, no problem. We have to configure it again then. So just enable outside. I have to go back here and we have to configure it again. Wizard, VPN, this time I'll just take it 30 seconds to configure it. Now this is CCI profile, outside interface. Admin only is fine. And that's policy. Next, bookmark list. Okay. I think in between that time I have refreshed one or twice. That's the reason it has not taken any thing, whatever I have configured. This is NH servers. Add the URL. Server 1. 10.1.1.1. HTTP is fine. This is for another one. Server 2. 10.1.1.2 here. So both the server, both the details I have added. That's fine. Make it okay. Selected. Next. And finish. Save it. Okay. And now just try to access from here. Dot. Now SSL victim. Okay. What is the profile? This is the profile. See, what is the meaning of profile? The meaning of profile means sometime it's happened. Okay. Let's consider there is a two users. This is the one user, this is another user. This is the one team, this is another team. Okay. And I have, let's consider, for example, this example I'll show you here. What is the meaning of profile? The profile means, consider there is a 4 servers connected with ASA. This is HRT. This is also connected with ASA. This is the sales team. There is a one user from HR, one user from the sales. So what is there? I want to configure here two profiles. One profile is for sales, one profile is for HR. Key, when this guy would open connect with the HR profile, he has to select the HR profile, and for him, I have configured admin, and admin is the username and password. And for this, I have configured CCI in CCI. So when they would log in with the help of their own username and password. So here in the bookmark list, I have a 4 users. And in this bookmark, I have a list of 4 users. So he will be able to see the totally different information, and he also would be able to see the totally different information. So this is the profile 1. This is profile 2. So as per the team, as per the candidate, also I can configure multiple profiles. So this is the meaning of profile. So right now, if you have configured multiple profiles, let's consider. So what you have to do it as a user, you have to choose your profile. Which profile is there? Is this HR profile or the sales profile? So because there would be the different credentials for the profile. Let's consider you are from HR team and you are trying to use you are trying to get into the sales, but the HR username, the credentials, and for the sales credentials, okay, both are different. So then you won't be able to log in into the same. So right now I'm going to use CCI. What is the username? Admin, and password is admin. Now you can see the list of this. Server 1, server 2. So right now, if you're not aware about the IP address, no problem. I have to connect myself with the server 1. I'll click on this. Okay. It's got open now. Admin or admin. This is one of the username and password I have configured on the destination servers. So show run section user here. Guys, in exam, there will be 2 username and password would be configured like this way. Okay, so you have to make sure you cannot use a user with privilege level 0. So you have to always use for the privilege 15, which is already mentioned here. So I have to use here CCIM. Done. I have logged in here and there's the same output. Okay, show IP HTTP server history if you would open it. So it would show you the remote IP as a ASA IP 10.1. Okay, because this is the proxy VPN. So click here. This is my home page. Now try to connect with the server 2 and try to log in. Let me check it out, the username and password on server 2, which is inside router. To run section user. Is there any username on server 2? Yes, CCNA and CCI. So I'll try here with the first. You can try with CCNA. Won't be able to log in because privilege level is configured. And this is CCI. Able to log in. Okay, guys. And if you would want to check it out here again, show IP HTTPS history. This is on server 2. Okay. So the local IP would be .2. This is a .2 and remote is 10.100. So whosoever is your user from outside, that doesn't matter. Okay, because in between proxy would happen. So this device, also this VPN is also known as proxy VPN. So these servers would consider, okay, my gateway and you can see my edge device is only accessing me, but actually who's accessing? These servers are accessing. And these devices, and as a user also, I'm not aware about that. What is the IP address actually of my server? Because if you are looking at this screen, at this portion here, could you tell me, guys, what is the IP address of the device? No, that's not possible for me. Okay, so this concept is known as what? Your SSL VPN. Okay, clientless VPN, browser-based VPN, web-based VPN, proxy-based VPN. Okay, everything is same. Yes, guys, is this clear? Any doubt, any questions, or anyone?
No, sir.
All clear? Okay. In between, if you remember, I have captures this one. Okay, so here I just wanted to give you an idea. Exactly, we cannot capture all the packet of SSL. Okay, there are some other informations and all those kind of stuff will be there. So for that, you have to go through your SSL bulletproof book, which I have shown you, which I have uploaded like in your drive previously. But still, I'll give you the brief idea. Okay, this is 12.1. You can see who's my 12.1. 12.1 is my PC, the outside PC, and who is 11.100? That is my ASA. So they are like PC is like kind of initiator here, and ASA is kind of responder. So this initiator is trying to connect with the responder here. So what is the first message? The first message is this one, which is client hello. And if you would open it, what kind of informations are there? So guys, what kind of informations will be there? Overall information into your client hello. The first is SSL version. Second is random number. Okay. Then one is session ID. After that, cipher source here. Then extension, which is about SNI server name. This is one of the extension here. And along with that, compression method. So these are the 6 things which we have discussed in the previous class. I hope you remember. Guys, do you remember all this or not? I
Yes,
hope
sir.
everybody remember, right? Yeah. So if I'll get into this, and if you would check it out here, okay, this one, TLS, This is handshake. This is client hello. And into that, you can see first, this is version. Which version of Alice they are using? TLS 1.2. This is the random number. How exactly random numbers become? Random number is the combination of the, how many things, guys? It is combination of the two things. One is timestamp of 4 bytes. And this is about 28 bytes here, which is again, just a random number. Okay. So overall size for this is 32 bytes. After that, random number, this is session ID length. This is session ID here. Okay. It's not showing empty. The reason, because I was just actually in the starting, I have not connected it. So it was just using the previous session. Okay. So this is the reason it's showing the session ID into this. So this is not the perfect one. No. Not this one. I'll show you one of the another capture. Wait. So guys, I'll just close this lab now, right? This is not needed, okay? So tomorrow again, we have to work out on the same, but tomorrow it would be just your client based, sorry, AnyConnect based here. So today we tried to connect with the help of the browser. Tomorrow one separate software would be required, and that software is known as AnyConnect. Okay, so that we will discuss tomorrow. So just let me check it out. Do I have any this captures of SSL or not? Otherwise, tomorrow we'll capture it out. Because I think there should be some captures of SSL. VPN section, let me check it out. This is SSL capture. Check it out here. SSL. First is client hello. From the one PC, one device to another device. Okay, you just focus on your client hello and all. So this is the client hello. And as you can see here, TLS and into this SSL handshake. Session ID is empty. Can you see, guys? Last time, just 5 minutes back or just 2 minutes back, I have opened one session ID. In that session ID, there was some value. So means that was trying to resume the session. Okay. But as per our concept, what we have discussed, like which is first the client server-based authentication, in that the session ID must be null or empty. So this is that null here. So this is a random number. This is null. Second, we have CipherSuite. The length of the CipherSuite is 28 bytes. So 14 options we have in the CipherSuite. So these are those CipherSuites we have, the combinations, which is predefined in your Google Chrome or in any browser. Okay. Compression method, this is null. This is one it's showing. One method is saying, but this is almost kind of null only. We won't consider, you can see what is the method here, null. Because as I told you earlier, in the early days of the internet, like during the evaluation, like evolution of the HTTP and HTTPS and SSL, that time we were using it, but not in this era. So we are not using compression method anymore. Then we have extensions. As I told you, there is a multiple extensions we have. Okay. So, but in this, we have a one concept about SNI, server name identification. You can just check it out where exactly we have SNI. So this is reserve recognition session ticket. This is okay. It's not showing here. The reason, because I think I'm not using any browser based. This the capture is not from any like anywhere where I have used domain name. So this is a captures where I have just used IP instead of the domain name. So when you would use a domain name, that time your SNI information will be there. Okay. So as a when you, if you have type a www.facebook.com, then your SNI would be there. And in case instead of your www.facebook.com, if you're using just an IP 10.20.30. something or whatever, so that time it won't show you any kind of SNI. So we cannot see as any SNI into this. This is the first. Second is server hello. This is reply for that. As you can see, we have a random number. Then we have a session ID of 32 bytes. Then we have this is session ID, and this is a selected cipher suit here. Previously, we have seen in the client hello, we have seen like 14 suits there. That was a proposal. But right now in server hello, as I can see, we have the selected cipher suit here. Compression method is again null. Okay, so this is the information. Okay, along with this, so this is server hello. First one, I'll close the server hello. Second, we have certificate. Then we have server key exchange, and then we have server hello done. Guys, do you remember all this? Because the first thing is from client side, client hello, and after that we have server hello, server certificate, server public key, and then server hello done. So we have how many messages? 4, and you can see here all the 4 messages are here. Server hello, certificate, key exchange, server hello done. In a single message only, we can see all these information. So this is the certificate. Okay, this certificate over here, this is exactly that certificate into this. So what is the ID, common name, ASA and all, okay? So I think I was using somewhere on ASA only. That's the reason it's showing just a common name, ASA. Okay, so tomorrow we will try to capture some actual or the real scenario here, okay? Because I think my Wireshark, I'll be not able to capture because I have disabled for my PC. Okay, but you can just capture a Wireshark, or you can enable the Wireshark on your PC and on your Wi-Fi adapter. And from there, you can just type www.amazon.com or Flipkart, and then you would be able to see your actual certificate into that. But right now, as you can see, this is also kind of certificate, but this is kind of your self-generated certificate for the same. Okay, so this is that certificate information we have. Okay, after this, we have a public key. This is the server key exchange. So this is, we have server key into this. Okay, and they're using, this is the server key. Public key of what? Server. And then we have server hello done. So in the same message, we have all the information. After that, we have client key exchange. Client key exchange means this is a message from the client, which is about the pre-master key. This is, you can say, this is what? This is the pre-master key here. So as you can see, this is the pre-master key, and the message is what? Encrypted here. Guys, I hope you remember. After this, because this is my client hello. This is all about server hello. This is, we have server certificate. After that, we have server public key, and then we have server hello done. After that, it would generate a pre-master key, and this is now, this message is known as client key exchange. Okay, and actually here what we have, pre-master key, which is encrypted with server public. Okay, guys, so this is that encrypted. And after that, what we have, chain cipher specific. This is what? Chain cipher specific we have. Okay, now let's start with encrypted. So we have encrypted messages and all. That's it. Clear, guys? I hope this is clear. Okay, so then we have all clear and all. Dedication to yes, because I have selected admin for the same. Okay.
So user don't need to authenticate, sir.
No, that is the username which I'm using, which is the admin, that is for the profile. Okay, that is not the actual user authentication, which is certificate based, or you can say that this is kind of you can say authentication, which is based on IP, based on password, not based on certificate. Okay, but this is not the not a actual user authentication.
Okay, sir.
The actual user authentication would be done with the help of certificate. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So guys, I'm done for the day. Okay. So kindly practice this one. Try to capture the packets. Okay. And try to practice clientless VPN in both the ways. One is via CLI, second is via GUI based here. Okay. So two options we do have. Yes, please.
Sir,
Sir, when you will resume back the offline class, sir?
Sorry,
When you will resume back the offline classes?
December. Because I'll be back in December only. December first week.
Okay, sir. Until December, it's online only, no, sir?
Oh, yes, my classes will be only online.
Sure, sure. Okay, sir. Thank you.
Sir,
Yes, please.
the client want to access a particular subnet.
Could you just speak a bit loudly? Your voice is just a bit low.
Hello.
Yeah, yeah.
Audible, sir.
Now it's better.
Yeah. So the client want to access the particular subnet over VPN.
Hmm.
So we need to configure over ASL, sir. In
Yes, over ASA.
okay. In you have to configure ASL in ASL, right, sir?
Could you pardon, please?
Hello.
Yeah, please tell me.
Yeah, yeah. So we have to configure ASL in ASL, sir, right?
ACL. Yeah, why you
Yeah.
need ACL? Because this is to the traffic. This is to the traffic because when you're accessing from outside, okay, that is to the traffic. And after that, we are not sending and the ASA is not transferring the same packet because after that ASA is changing its source IP. And what is the source IP? That it's gateway. That's the reason ASL is not required today. Okay.
Okay.
sir,
Yes.
what's the use case of creating the profile, sir? I mean, from the perspective of user.
This is perspective from the admin actually. This is not from the perspective of the user. This is perspective of the admin. I have made that diagram. Okay, this is the diagram. This one. Okay, let's consider this is one separate team here, one separate team. So let's consider you are from HR, okay, and you are logged, you are connected yourself with the ASA. So there, in case if you would not choose your profile, because and let's consider you have not configured any profile, but inside you have 8 servers, and out of that 4 for the HR and for the for the sales. So without any profile, if you would log in into that, so what happened as a HR server, you would be able to see a list of all the 8 servers here. But if you're a HR, so I'm saying ki why you are able to see this thing. This is not needed for you. What is needed for you? This is needed for you. So that's the reason I have made up the 2 profiles. In the one profile for HR, they will be able to see only these 4 servers. And this is the another one that is just for the sales. And I have configured different credentials for the both the profiles.
So the use case is only for internal purpose.
Internal purpose, not for the user perspective. This is as a network admin to keep it information, the credentials from the one team to another team.
Fine, sir.
Okay. Anything else? Any questions? Any doubts? Anyone? I hope all clear. Okay, so we are done for the day. So now I'll close the meeting and see you tomorrow. And tomorrow we would continue. No, sorry guys. Not tomorrow because tomorrow I'm on leave. So see you day after tomorrow. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Yeah.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Tomorrow I'm on leave. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
So then see you day after tomorrow.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Okay. Bye bye. Take care. Have a nice day. Guys. Thank you.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Sir. Bye.